What it do? What it do? It's your boy. Tonight it's my story, and the question is, what was your favorite subject in school and why? And in school, when I went, pardon me, when I got into school, when I was in school, I traveled around so much that every year I was in like a new school in a new state in a new city, and plus like I was being like, I don't know, my dad is from capital punishment era, and also I think that my dad was very angry, and I was abused, but and seeing the violence that my parents were, because they were also, he wasn't just abusing me, he was abusing her too, and and my parents' fallouts. And I was thinking there were some times that I would come home, because remember I told you I was a latchkey kid. Sometimes I would come home, it happened more than 3 times, that I'd come home to the house and there's nothing in the house. Everything has been taken out of the house. It's empty, like my bed, the TV, everything. And it'll be one of my parents mad at the other parent and taking all the stuff and going somewhere with it. And it would be one or the other. I've seen it done by each one of them. Just, I come home, my dad's like, "Where's all this stuff?" I come home, my mom's like, "Where's all this stuff?" And even when they finally broke up, that was the dichotomy of that last incident. Was like my dad take all the stuff. My mom came home from work and there was nothing in there. But me as a kid, like going through all that, and I just wasn't like in. The last thing on my mind was school. You know what I mean? And I couldn't verbalize that, number one. Number two, I don't think I knew that I was being abused. You just, plus like in Black culture, getting a whoop is like not a problem. You know what I mean? So any kind of punishment, I just thought we were all getting it. I just assumed that we were getting it, and so when I go to school, and I didn't think about it at the time, you know what I mean? Because I was getting Fs, especially with the farther I removed from Chester, because I felt like that was my home, and I always was looking back. I feel like an African who was taken from his land, but the farther I got, the lower my grades got. When I got to Alaska, I was getting straight Fs almost, and they were constantly asking me. I just wanted to go back home, you know what I mean? And but I did like learning new things, like all new things. That's how I have so many teachers that I could talk to, and that's probably why I have all these teachers that I like, because I was such a problem that they had to take personal interest and take me to the side and talk to them. You know what I mean? And I mostly was socializing in there, and I think that I feel like homework, you'd have to have a stable home. Now, in hindsight, you'd have to have a stable home, but at the time, it was my problem. You know what I mean? Also, I have a little sister who was like the baby of the bunch, and she really did good at school, so it was a good reason why. Well, if it's so bad, why is she excelling in it? But she wasn't getting the abuse, so you know what I mean? But at the time, that I didn't think about was the abuse. I was just thinking I'm not as capable as everybody else. Because also when I go to all these new schools, one thing that hit me one time was I was in one school, and they gave us this paper, and it was maybe, I think, black and white, but it was a drawing. And then the teacher's like, what do you guys see? And then I was looking at the drawing, and then all these kids started shouting out these things, and I didn't see any of that shit in there. You know what I mean? I was confused, and yeah. So that, to me, it was saying that at the time I was saying I thought I was lost, but in hindsight, I'm in Utah. You know what I mean? I don't know any of half of these kids are Mormon. I don't, I'm not, I just got here, I'm from the city. They don't even know Black people. Just the whole thing, you know what I mean? And that would go along too in my school, my scholarly studies, I would. It happened a few times that because I didn't do my homework and I wasn't really thinking about that, some of my teachers thought I was mentally disabled for real, like I was slow or something. So a few times because I would be going to do different places, so they didn't know my history. So we'd get to a place, and then one teacher would suggest that like I'm slow and maybe I need to be held back. And like I said, the first time my mom came, when she told him she was stressed out, she was tripping about it. You know what I mean? But then they tested me, and every time they test me, okay, so not only because I have straight F's, so then they test me, and I'm above average in most, but below average in math. I hated math. They didn't put any, okay, because now math is money. So to me now math means something. So now I'm good at math. But at the time, like numbers were just numbers to me, so I didn't really think about it. But so they would come and they say to test them, and then I would always get higher in reading and comprehension over my grade. You know what I mean? So it says a lot. Like he's not doing anything, but how does he get over? But so a few times they try to put me in a higher. They're saying maybe the reason why I have F's is because this is too boring for him. They doesn't want to do this. You know, and also when my mom goes to these meetings, I don't know what she's doing in these meetings, but when I go back, your mom really loves you. You're so lucky. But so I think that she's performing in those things because she's in the abuse. She knows the whole thing. You know what I mean? She could just say, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know. But so one time she came to me. She's like, "Yeah, you know they think you're stupid and mentally disabled." Like, so I'm like, maybe on the fourth time that a teacher called her and was like, "I think he's slow." Then she's like, "Go ahead, test him. Go ahead, test him." And same thing every time, you know what I mean? And even me, I was wondering like why. And I see all these people, and even like my peers, like they're getting A's and B's. Like, how are they doing that? You know, to me, I'm saying, how are they doing that? You know what I mean? But I never put in they're like, they're not dealing with like extreme violence and like not knowing where you're gonna be living. That's nothing. You know what I mean? They have a foundation. So when I got out of school and then I was on my own, I started really like picking up books and like reading, just absorbing like for a long time. Even now, like it's just insatiable. Like I have books everywhere.